बात करते हैं कुछ पाकिस्तान और बांग्लादेश के ताल्लुकात के हवाले से। दोनों ममालिक जो हैं वो इक़्तिसादी तौर पर एक दूसरे के करीब आने की बातें कर रहे हैं। इस वक्त हमारे साथ एक बड़े ख़ास मेहमान मौजूद हैं जो कि बांग्लादेश से हमें ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं। अनीस उज़ ज़मान चौधरी साहब हैं जो कि स्पेशल असिस्टेंट हैं बांग्लादेश के चीफ़ एडवाइज़र जनाब मोहम्मद यूनुस साहब के। बांग्लादेश से हमें वो ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं। अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर। Anisab, thanks a lot. Thank you for giving us your time. Let's start with a bit of history. So, we all know that Dhaka played a very important role, a crucial role in establishing Pakistan. So, would you like to say something more about the historical context, historical significance of the role of the people of Dhaka and the leaders of Dhaka in the creation of Pakistan? I think our youth needs to know this.
Pakistan movement was led by Muslim League, and Muslim League was formed in Dhaka in 1906. And the person who actually initiated that process was Nawab of Dhaka, Nawab Salimullah Khan. So that is very fundamental to understand that the beginning of the movement for an independent state for the Muslims of the subcontinent began in Bengal and led by Nawab Salimullah Khan. And then just fast forward, only the two Muslim leaders in the whole of India who had the experience of running a government was from Bengal. One was A.K. Fazlul Haq, who was the chief minister of Bengal between 1937 and 1941 or 42. I don't remember the exact dates. And then it was Hossein Saeed Sarwardi. And what played a very pivotal role that forced Mr. Gandhi and the British government to agree to partition of India was the Direct Action Day in 1946 in Bengal. It was actually called for all over India, but it was only successful in Bengal. And there are a lot of stories, controversies, but Mr. Saeed Sarwardi, being the Chief Minister of Bengal and at the same time the Home Minister, he played a pivotal role in the Direct Action Day, which eventually, of course, that was very sad, what happened, the riot and etc. Leaving that aside, the unfortunate side effects of that, nonetheless, that convinced Mr. Gandhi and the British government that the Muslims and Hindus need to be separated into separate states. So that is a short history of the role that people of Bengal, I don't want to say Bangladesh, but it was people of Bengal altogether. Bengal actually in the British India was predominantly a Muslim majority province. And if you look at the maps that was originally put forward, and I have been visiting in Pakistan, I saw that map shown in various places in Pakistan. It includes the undivided Bengal, the whole of Bengal, and that includes Assam, which is but again, unfortunately for various reasons, it had to be what it is now. And another thing that I need to mention, the famous Lahore resolution in 1940, when a resolution was passed at the convention of the Muslim League in 1940 in Lahore, the proposal for a Muslim state, a separate Muslim state, was proposed by A.K. Fazlul Haq. And it was conceived as states with the resolution was to form a state with the majority Muslim states of India. So it was states, a plural, as was there in Pakistan. Later on, again, it's an unfortunate thing happened, and it was that plural was removed, saying that it was a typo, that it was meant to be one state, not states. So the original idea was there will be different states, Muslim majority provinces of India, that included Bengal, and other. Then Pakistan will be a federation of states like United States of America. So it was the concept originally was that at the Lahore resolution.
So, Anisab, we all know that Pakistan was progressing economically in the 60s, but then after the 1960s, the situation changed. So, what do you think? What were the main mistakes that were made after 1960s for which are responsible for our economic downfall?
One is the 60s, yes, you had the growth, high growth, and this is a common thing you find in any authoritarian system, because we had an authoritarian system. Ayub Khan was an authoritarian ruler, although we had some kind of election called through basic democracy. Because these authoritarian rulers need legitimacy. So their only legitimacy is growth. They say, well, I'm suppressing democracy because the country is not fit for democracy. And at this stage, you need more of a discipline than democracy for development. So if you have 3D, 1D is development, 1D is democracy, and 1D is discipline. So you cannot have three Ds at the same time. So you have to sacrifice 1D to achieve other two. So if you want to achieve development, you need discipline and you have to sacrifice democracy. So that was the philosophy. And you see that in every autocratic states, this kind of, but this growth, again, historically, you will find collapses because what happens in the authoritarian system, you stifle debate, you stifle innovation. People become fearful, they do not speak the truth, even if you are making mistakes, you just keep saying, oh, everything is good, everything is good. And then suddenly you find not everything is good and it collapses. So that is what has happened in Pakistan.
Now, if we talk about measures, what do you think? What measures can be taken to improve business relations between Pakistan and Bangladesh?
Yes, of course. We need to be careful not to rush, because rushing and over enthusiasm and euphoria is not good, because that distracts from real things. We still have, let's concentrate on basic things. Where is the mistrust? Why the mistrust happened? What are the misinformation that were spread deliberately or by mistakes, unconsciously? And we have to be also careful about those forces which would not like this closer relationship for whatever reason. So international politics we have to understand, geopolitics we have to understand. So we have to be cautious, and we have to have patience. We cannot just be so much euphoric about this. I know I see in both sides, especially in Pakistan, a lot of euphoria that suddenly you think that you have found your lost brothers or something like that. I think we have to be realistic. We have to be careful, cautious, and then do things which are doable. For example, we should first concentrate on people-to-people relationship. That way we can dispel the misinformation or misunderstanding. So that's the first thing. So to have that on a better footing, to have that to make that happen, we need to establish direct communication, like direct flights between two countries, which are not at the moment existing. And there are problems because you have to get the flying rights over India, and India may not give it. So how you negotiate that? Can you get it around by using a third country aircraft, like, for example, the Middle Eastern aircrafts, airlines, which fly from Dhaka to Middle Eastern destinations. They might take a stop over in Pakistan and will have the right to carry passenger and drop passengers in that country. Or the airlines that fly from Malaysia, say for example, or Thailand. You have flights from Thailand to Pakistan. All three cities. Thai has flights to Karachi, Lahore, and Islamabad. Whether they could stop in Dhaka on their way to Islamabad or Karachi and Lahore, and then pick up passengers and to and fro from. So that these are the things which are there are technical issues, cannot be resolved overnight, but we should work on it.
Okay, now who do you think is the biggest enemy of good relations between the two countries, Pakistan and Bangladesh?
We don't have to be explicit about that. It is understandable.
Okay, okay, we understand that. Okay, so let's talk about the current status of politics in Bangladesh. So what is the current status of the Bangladesh government? The implementation of electoral reforms seems to be a difficult task for them.
Reform is going on. Reform is always a difficult task in any country. As you know, reform doesn't have any textbook guidelines. It is always a trial and error method. You have to be cautious. You don't know. We don't know the sequence. There's no textbook case that you reform this sector first and then next sector, then next sector. We don't know the sequence. We don't know the speed, at what speed it should be done. So this is a common problem. People always say, oh, why this is not happening, why this is not happening. It's easy to say, but if you look at the countries that successfully reform, take for example China, how did it reform, and why Soviet Union failed. Both are no, Soviet Union was a communist country, China is also a communist country, but China succeeded and Soviet Union fell apart. So this is just clear, in front of our eyes that even though both were trying to reform, one succeeded and one failed and exploded country.
What is the political future of Hasina Wajid?
Well, very difficult to say what will be the political future. I mean, what future she has, even as a human being. Allah has determined all of our term, ajalan. Her term may be near. Who knows? She may fall dead tomorrow. What is the future then? We can't say whose future is what. Future is always unknown.
Okay, okay, okay. Finally, my last question. We see that the students played a very important role in the recent political happenings in Bangladesh. So, what will be their role in the future of Bangladesh?
Even in Pakistan, we have to realize our demography has changed. We have 30 to 40% of our population in Bangladesh is about 30% of our population is between the age 15 and 30. So this is the population distribution now. And these are the young generation who are largely uncontaminated by the politics of the old generation. So they want a new way of doing things. They are more technology savvy. They are more connected through new technology, which we older generation did not know. So they are the one who will determine the future for even for Pakistan. If the older generation of our age do not understand that, then we will be making a mistake. We will be making a mistake. So we have to understand their aspiration. We have to understand what they want and how they want. So, and they represent in in the population, as I said, it was 30%. In among the voter, it's about 40% of them are in the age of that bracket, because our voting age is from 17, from 18, and then the cohort between 18 and 35. This you can, if you can say, this is the younger population. They are largely uncontaminated by corruptions and unethical behavior and old days of politics, of confrontation. They are more into collaboration, cooperation, because of the connectivity through technology.